Fellow riders from around the world, we all dream to have the best adventure motorcycle, but is it really exist? In this video, I'm gonna share with you one different point of view. Stay with me. Welcome back, guys. First things first. What is the definition of adventure? It is unusual and exciting experience, usually involves some risks. From this you can learn that the adventure is a very special state of mind and you can reach it with almost everything. Driving a car, riding a bicycle, motorcycle, hiking, walking, swimming, hitchhiking. For some people it's an adventure even to go to the local park. I will give you one funny example. Last year on my trip around the Balkans, because it was so cold and I've got so many clothes, so many layers of clothes on me, it was an adventure to go even to the toilet. Okay, if we focus only on the motorcycles, for one person an adventure will be to go to the next town, but for another to go around the world. It really depends from the point of view and from the experience you already got. If you're doing the same thing for a long time, it became like something absolutely normal and it is not an adventure anymore. You will start looking for something different, to step out of your comfort zone. Okay, we understand that, and to do the desired trip, we'll need a motorcycle. And with all of that being said, what is the best adventure motorcycle? GS 1200, KTM 790, Africa Twin or the new Yamaha Tenere? Well guys, every time when I hear this question, I start to laugh. It's like who is better, Bruce Lee or Gringo, cowboys or Indians? It's never-ending discussion. And I'm laughing because it is very subjective. It is usually based on the opinion of one person, so-called riding experts, or motorcycle magazines or famous YouTubers, but it doesn't matter because it is based only on their own experience or a couple of people's experience. It's not fair. Usually I receive about 10 emails per week from guys asking exactly the same question, or looking for some kind of encouragement that the bike they already got is good enough to go around the world. And I usually reply with the same words that any bike will do the job with just a simple modifications and the will to do it. Many people already prove that you can go around the world with almost anything, from 50cc scooter up to 1000cc sport bike. The important part is to go, not the size or the type of the motorcycle. If you want to go, you will make the proper modifications and you will do it. It is obvious that on the long highway trips it is better to have big and powerful motorcycle, but it doesn't mean that you cannot do it with anything else. Of course you can. It will be slowly, it will be different, but the result will be the same. You will finish the trip. You will complete the trip. Complete your mission. Recently, I watched a video review of a Royal Enfield Himalaya, exactly the same bike I rode in India and Nepal. There were two British guys, they test the bike road, on-road, off-road, highways, any kind of terrains, and they came to conclusion that this bike is not good for adventure trips because it cannot perform well on the highways. Their presumption was that when you have an adventure bike, it's supposed to be good everywhere. On-road, off-road, dirt roads, highways, everywhere. Guys, you have to understand one very simple truth. This type of bike does not exist. And it doesn't matter what brand you're going to choose or how much money you're going to spend, it will be always pros and cons. 1000cc is great on the highway, but it's not so good when you have to ride it off-road. 250cc it's good, light and comfortable on the dirt tracks, but it's not a pleasure to ride it on the highways. And it doesn't matter what you've got, ABS, traction control, any kind of adventure gadgets, they make your trip a little bit more comfortable, but they cannot make the perfect bike. There is no perfect bike. It's always positives and negatives on any bike, any brand, any model. Just remember it. Any bike will do the job. The example I can give you now is my last trip. In Pakistan, I rode 250cc naked Benelli. It is obvious that it's not a bike for this type of trips, but it works just fine. In India and Nepal, I rode Royal Enfield Himalaya. Exactly the same bike. Which one? The experts from Britain say that it's not good for adventure type of trips. Alright. Alright. Whatever they said. In Bangladesh, I rode 150cc Chinese brand Lifan. Most of you will laugh when they see it, or will consider this bike like a bike for teens, for newbies, for 18 years old new riders. Yes, they were never perfect, but all the bikes are exactly the same, never perfect. Good in one situation, bad or decent in another. Even my Yamaha Tenere, the bike I love so much and brought me to so many places, suck in so many different situations. There is no perfect bike, they are all the same. Every motorcycle is a compromise. If you have 1000cc, you have to skip some of the technical tracks, it is obvious. If you have 200 or 250cc, it will be difficult on the highways. Always compromise, guys, just remember it. And stop compare all of this, because it's not gonna help you at all. Let me give you a few more examples. You know, guys, I love examples. Some of the best adventure motorcycles are GS 1200, Honda Africa Twin Old or the new model, Suzuki DR650, Honda XR 650, Suzuki DR 400, my Yamaha, and many more. They are determined as the best adventure motorcycles ever. But let me tell you something very interesting, something I discovered now in my last trip to South Asia. If you have any of these so-called the best adventure motorcycles in this part of the world, South Asia, you will face number of problems. Number one, you cannot find even a proper tires. Okay, but I can bring the tires with me. Fair enough, you can do it. Number two, you cannot find a proper oil, the oil you need for your engine. Yes, but I can bring the oil I need. Yes, you can do it. Number three, you cannot find the spare parts you might need. Yes, but I can bring everything I need. Hello, how many kilograms of luggage you planning to take? 100? Alright. Number four, if you have a breakdown situation, even if you have the parts we already discussed, you cannot find a mechanic to fix your bike. You have to be a mechanic or to bring your own, as you always suggest. And of course the opposition. This is not true. In big cities like Karachi, Islamabad, Mumbai, Delhi, Dhaka, you can find everything you need. You show in your videos, you can find everything. Oh guys, are you planning to stay only in these cities or you want to ride the country? Even in the cities you just described, it's not that easy. I will give you another one example. When I was in Islamabad, my motorcycle boots cracked actually. The front of the boot just opened a big hole, so I cannot continue riding like that, because every time when it starts raining, the water will go in. I spent almost half day going around Islamabad looking for motorcycle boots or any kind of proper boots to complete my trip. And guess what? There is none. None. Even if you find, it will be on triple price, and I'm not gonna spend this money for that. At the end, I just found a shoemaker to fix just to stitch my boot. That's everything I did. Because there's no choice, there's no options. I will give you another one. The Benelli I rode in Pakistan, this 250cc, requires oil changes every 3000 kilometers. So we knew that when we start from Karachi, and we expect somewhere around the north to change the oil. And we did not take the oil with us, because I said there are more than enough motorcycles everywhere, motorcycle garages, shops for oils everywhere, and my friend Enif said, yeah, you can buy oil from everywhere when we get to the north. Every town or village will sell you oils. Okay, so we did not take the oil with us because of extra weight we don't need to carry, and so on and so on. So when we went to the north, when we passed these 3000 kilometers, I tried very hard to find the oil to change it. But the oil I need, it was actually nothing so special. It was 10W40 or 10W50, semi or full synthetic, whatever I found, but it's need to have specifications MA or MA2 for wet clutch. And this was the problem. All the oils we found, all the shops we checked, they've got the normal car oils, 1040, 1050, whatever you need, but no specifications MA or MA2. We found only one very suspicious bottle with specifications MA, but it was the brand, or it looks like filled up in the backside of the garage. So we did not take this risk, and I need to ride the bike more 1000 kilometers extra just to get back to Islamabad. And on the other hand, my friend Enif bike, it was one of the most popular bikes in this area. It is Suzuki 150 GS, very, as I said, the most popular bike over there. He has no problem with anything, to fix the problems or to change the oil. Even that intervals of his bikes are only 1000 kilometers. He was able to change it in every town if he need to. So for this type of trip, he has the best adventure motorcycle. Many people ask me, did I miss my Tenere on that trip? Yes, of course, sometimes I miss it. But when I saw what is the situation, when I saw all of these garages, guys, these mechanics, they basically work on the street. There is no garage the way you know the garages in your countries. So they basically work on the street with thousands of people around them. When they need to deassemble the bike, they put all the parts everywhere around and all the tools and everything. I will never let any one of these guys to touch my bike in the case it's break down. I have to fix it by my own. There is no other options. That's why I will never recommend to no one to go there with your own bike. There is much more convenient. It is much better just to fly there, rent a bike or buy a local bike instead of bringing your own bike, because it will be very difficult if you have a breakdown situation. It will take a lot of time to fix it. The next example I can give you is again from Pakistan. I met a nice couple, Peter and Claudia from Austria. They were there with Suzuki V-Storm 1000. They have made two capital mistakes. First one is to take the wrong bike over there, and second is to be so heavy. They have so much luggage, hard cases, top case, box, front, crazy. I can't believe that some people could travel like this, but anyway, it's their decision. So they've got one problem in Afghanistan actually. They hit a big pothole and damaged the rear wheel, really bad. So they've got tubeless tires and tubeless wheels, so they cannot continue without fix the wheel. They tried very hard. They spent a couple of days over there trying to find a different wheel or a mechanic to fix the wheel. Finally, they cannot, and they need to buy a tube and use the tubeless tire with tube to continue the trip. And this is just one of the examples. So they lost a couple of days, which is good. This is fine. But when I spoke with them, Claudia even said, next time if we plan such a trip, we'll make it with light bikes, never so much luggage, never ever again. She also said that 50% of the luggage, they never use it. So this is just one of the things to consider. Claudia and Peter, if you watch this, prove me wrong. Again, I talked so much and said nothing. I think I'm ready for politician. Anyway, let's go back to the topic. The best adventure motorcycle is the one that will help you to continue the trip with minimum efforts and problems. The brand and the model need to be selected very carefully regarding to the destination and the trip you're planning to make. Choose the brand and the model and prepare the bike for the hardest part of your trip. For example, if you plan 2000 kilometers off-road, don't go with heavy bike, even if the rest of the mileage is only highways. On the highways, you can do it with everything, even with 150 cc. Yeah, it will be slowly, but you can do it. But when you go to the dirt roads, sands or any kind of difficult terrains, with a heavy bike will be a challenge and almost impossible for many of you to continue the trip. So you have to skip this section, to go other way around, or to go back. And is that what you're planning to do? Are you going over there to make the adventure of lifetime, or you want to go there just to be easy and to travel with your favorite bike? Maybe it's not going to be so important for you. You might decide, okay, if it's so hard, I can skip it. Always it's not so important to go and rush myself. Okay, but what about if you don't have this chance? What about if you don't have chance to go back? For example, if you go down very steep hill and you somehow did it, but you cannot go up. What about if you have a river to cross or some unexpected situations? You have to be ready, you have to be able to travel with the bike you've got, not to rely on the different sources or expect somebody to help you, because you might not find that person. Like when I was in Ladakh for all day, I saw 4 trucks. Plan and go with the idea to see the world, not to show your motorcycle to the world by posting pictures in Facebook or Instagram. By the way, I did it many times with the bikes I've got at the moment, and no one ever criticized the bikes I show there. I said this before and many of you disagree, but it doesn't matter how much you love your motorcycle. At the end, it is just a tool. The travel is what really matters. Remember it, guys, and it will save you a lot of problems, efforts and money if you just keep that in mind. As usual, thank you very much for watching, guys. Check the rest of the videos in the channel and see you next time. Ciao.